So here's the chair that I'm getting ready to replace the sling seats on. It was sitting on the side of my house for probably 2 years. I picked it up. Actually, my neighbor was getting ready to take two of these to the dump. He was driving by my house with this trailer, and I stopped him and asked him if I could have them. Anyway, the things are really easy to replace. So I cut it in half because it's easier to get out that way. There's just a couple caps, and I have the caps here in my hand. I'd already taken them off, but these are the caps that go right into the ends here, and this is what holds the whoops, this is where it goes. See that cap fits right in there, and I just used a screwdriver to take it out the first time, but that's what holds, and here this one is actually still intact. I'm going to take it out with my nail. You can kind of get it with your nail. Oops, that one broke. But it's really not necessary. Oh no. Anyway, this is inside of there, and they just slide right up. See that? Yeah, that'd be great. So that's how you take that out of there. And then inside of here is a really thin metal rod. So I'm just going to take the trampoline and sew it right around this rod, or I'm going to make a rod pocket for it. And then you just slide it back into the groove, and that's really all there is to it. So I'll show you once I get them sewn how to put them back in. Where those little holes are at, where you take the rod out of there. This is the chair, and it's upside down right now so that I could access those. Obviously you see the legs. So I flipped it upside down so I could access those things. They're right here. Right there. There they are. I've already gotten this one out. This one's next. And I split my fabric in half because it's just easier than trying to get both of them out on each side at the same time. So this one's a little tight. It's hard to get this one-handed. Okay, that's that. That's two. This one slip right out. Let's see about this one. This one's a little tighter also. I'm going to turn it off so I can use two hands. There it is without the slings, without the fabric slings. And I'll show you a close-up of where the grooves are. So you see, this is where the metal rods go back in. So, that's it. So here's the trampoline that I just cleaned. I just hosed it down with dish soap and the hose obviously, and I just set it on top of the chair to start drying. In the meantime, I'm going to go in and measure my seats so that I can be ready for that when this is dry. Hey you guys, so I'm going to make my chair slings or chair seats in back with this trampoline, and I've got it laid out here on my ping pong table so that I can cut out the seat in the back. The thing that I wanted to tell you about this is that you definitely want to make sure that you cut your trampoline on the grain, just like you would if it was real fabric. It has stretch on the bias, just like real fabric. So you want to make sure that you cut it square so that it's going to fit into the chair squarely on the grain. Otherwise, when you sit on it, it's going to give and stretch in weird ways, and your seat will go like this when you sit on it. So make sure that you cut your trampoline on grain. So just grab a hold of it and make sure you pull it and whichever way it stretches, then obviously that's the bias, and you want to make sure that you cut it squarely on the straight of the grain so there's no stretch in the trampoline. That's the tip for this. That's the big tip for this. Other than that, it's really easy. Just cut it to the right dimensions and you're good to go. Okay, one more pro tip on this trampoline, sling chair, lounger refinish. When you're sewing the trampoline down the sides to make the rod pocket for the rods, make sure you buy a good 100% polyester thread. This is super important because if you use cotton or some sort of a blend, it's not going to last, and those seams are just going to rip right out of there. That thread will just dissolve in no time flat in the sun. So Joann's has a thread, and I think it's called Sunstop polyester thread, and it's just a little thicker than regular cotton thread, but pretty sure it's called Sunstop. So look for Sunstop polyester thread, or go to an upholstery supply place, and even I think Amazon has Sunstop thread. So just make sure that you get good thread for this project. Otherwise, it's not going to last. So there's another pro tip for you. So I've already done one line of stitches here, and I'm doing a second just because I want it to be super strong. And you see I folded it quite wide there just to give it a little extra strength, and pinned it, of course, because this stuff is so stiff that it just needed to be pinned. There's no way to hold it down and sew it, so I pinned it. So it's quite simple. I'm going to sew over that pin because I'm holding the phone with my other hand. My machine is a champ. I'm just making sure that I'm sewing it right on that guide right there. That's the key to a nice straight line. It's just keeping your edge right on that line. Getting off one hand. Sewing through my viewfinder on my phone is not easy. So here's the two chairs. They're both finished now, except for the one on the left I still have to paint it. I painted that one, and it looks lovely. So this was just a pretty simple project. The goats have already been standing on the chairs and pooped on them, as you can see. But anyway, this is really a simple project. So if you have any questions, comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and you'll get all my future sewing tips and tutorials. My goats. So there they are. The one on the right is still wrinkly, but that'll only take a couple days in the sun to flatten out. So easy, easy. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, you guys. See you next time.